All right, guys, we're back. We're going to be doing some work on Project F again. We're going to be continuing with that fuel pump swap. Tristan's been looking on YouTube for examples of this, and it looks like we just need to remove these little, they look like 6 mil or something, these little bolts, or these nuts.
Yeah, they're 8 mil. I thought they were 6 mil.
Oh, they look a lot smaller than that. But yeah, I just got to remove those, disconnect electronics, and then we'll just get our fuel disconnect tools for the lines. And shouldn't be any fuel pressure in here at all because the fuel lines have been disconnected up in the engine bay. So we're good with that. Clean up in here. We'll probably clean up just a little bit more before we actually remove it. But yeah, this fuel door is really easy to make on the last video. And we'll get this swapped really fast. It was supposed to be raining today, but it is very, very bright.
And Davis is changing some O2 sensors on the Mustang.
Yep, it's cold starting, not so great, and driving around when it's cold. And Lito suspects that it's just the old O2s, which the passenger side's like 12 years old, and the driver's side I think are replaced recently. But I got some new NTKs, which are supposedly really good. So
we didn't get it on video, but we witnessed Isaiah actually working on one of his cars.
Yeah, the Explorer over there. He's replacing the door latches because it was doing some squeakiness. Isaiah, show us the broken door latches.
I already threw them all out, but
go rub and shoot the trash.
Okay. So these are basically like
bushings.
Yeah, they're basically just little bushings that go to your screw.
That's a good example of one. The other ones, like the driver one, was disintegrated.
My driver one actually completely disintegrated. Oh, here it is. This was my driver's one.
Yeah.
And it was still on there. And basically what will happen is you'll notice like slight squeaking as you're going down the road.
Those were like original from like 1996 or 1995 or whenever it was.
And then we can show the new ones that I just put on.
And Isaiah actually might be doing a rebuild on the engine here soon because it's very oily.
Yeah. So these are the new ones. Basically what will happen is that once this actually cracks in half, your door lock itself actually won't be able to grab around it properly. Yeah. And the door will actually jump up and down while you're going down the road.
Yeah, but now nice good clunk.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's a quick little like thing to do. Nice. Like I got all 4, tore them all out, did them all within about like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It's a super quick thing to do. So one other thing that I kind of have planned for the Explorer yet, I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I have to solve an oil leak and a coolant leak. And the only way to solve the oil leak,
taking out part.
It's taking out the engine to just work on it. So we'll probably be ending up doing that probably in the near future, or I don't know how soon, but I do have a full gasket set ordered. I don't know if I want to order a whole new engine kit yet. That's something I'm looking into, but the engine itself seems fine. I've never really had an issue with it. Yeah,
this car is 224,000 miles.
No, it's 240 now.
240,000. Still drives mint, just leaky. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys that update on the engine. We're planning on doing some work to it, so it'd be pretty cool to see doing this gasket set and kind of restoring this old 4-liter.
Yeah, and I don't plan on like doing any upgrades to it. It's just gonna be another daily driver. When I do pull the engine as well, I kind of want to just do a full overhaul. So
all the gaskets and everything.
It's not even just the gaskets too. So what I'm thinking is that I do want to end up pulling my transmission and taking it to a shop.
That'd be cool.
Because if the engine's already going to be out, might as well do it. And then also I do need to get my transfer case actually serviced.
And then we're going to be doing the Post Malone 5.0 swap on this.
Oh, hell no.
Just kidding. Look, guys, the Infinity is still here.
It is. I'm just lazy. So good news is we're finally going to do work on the Infinity.
Yeah, we're going to be. So ever since he purchased this, or right after he purchased this, the AC went out.
Work being done on the Infinity?
Yeah, work will be done on the Infinity. So I finally stopped being lazy, guys, because everybody started,
hassling you.
Hassling me because I'm lazy about working on cars, or my own cars. We now have a Vallejo OE AC compressor for this.
Yep, we're gonna get Freon. We're gonna get the vacuum set to pull a vacuum on the system, and we're basically just gonna show you guys how to replace an AC condenser and recharge your full AC system, which will be pretty cool. And I mean, I've done it before on a couple cars. So I've never replaced AC condenser, but I've recharged them before. You're gonna nibble the Camaro head or the Camaro's hood.
You gotta make some hood vents.
Yeah, some hood vents.
I gotta cut more of the back.
All right, guys. Well, yep, that's pretty much Isaiah's got going on. So expect some Infinity stuff and some Explorer stuff. But yeah, let's turn our attention back to the Camaro here.
By the way,
these disconnect tools don't work. I'd use these ones.
Okay, they don't work. Okay.
I hate those ones.
I tried both of them and it didn't work. However, it's really dumb that they like did a bend right before this line connects, so it's really inconvenient.
Here's a really easy way of doing it. Here, hold the camera real quick. What side is this?
But I used this one, and that seemed to fit pretty well in there.
So you're disconnecting this one?
Yeah, trying to.
So what I found,
there's like barely any room
together.
Yeah, it being right off of a bend does not help.
Yeah, and there's sharp metal nearby.
Yeah.
But
I'm thinking we're gonna have to open up that
together and then push this in, and it should release it. But
yeah,
sometimes they're finicky. Fuck. Ah, shit. It's pretty hard. It smells like gas, guys.
It does, because this is open now. There's like no leverage also to pull that thing back, so I'm thinking I'm gonna chop that out.
Working right next to sharp sheet metal. Put on
that's a good idea.
We don't need
Daddy says put on gloves.
Dad is always safe. Sometimes. Oh boy.
Yeah, the trick is to push them together, but they do have exposed. Maybe if you press the tabs.
I got a screwdriver.
Here, we might want to put these nuts somewhere that won't fall.
Safe? Yeah, probably. As I eat those nuts, they'll be safe in your belly.
No, I'm allergic to metallic nuts.
Oh shit, you got that side out, but how the fuck are we gonna get the other side? It ain't gonna rotate.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is tough. Like, I think for sure we're gonna have to cut this fucking extra little chunk out. You want me to do that real quick, Isaiah? Or do you think you can do it? Because I'm definitely gonna have to do it for this one either way. So I might as well cut it before you try.
Well, the problem here, Tristan, is there's a hump that goes over here, so you can't cut over this.
Oh, you can't?
See that right there? There's a hump.
Did you already attempt? Oh, well, that's coming out. Here, you might be able to get the pliers around that, and then...
So I think there's something else to do with the tank, too.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, stop. Okay, we need to stop because of the wire.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, that wire is it's pressed on.
Are we gonna have to chop it off?
No,
really?
Let's not do that. I mean, we technically could, but it's better to just find where it disconnects.
Yeah,
Can I get out of the car?
Huh? You want to get under it?
Oh, I just want to see.
Good luck. All right, here we go. That wasn't too bad. The gas tank, since the gas tank's at an angle, it's it wasn't too hard and it wasn't all gas soaked like I thought it would be.
Did you guys fish out that screwdriver yet?
There it is. There's a little orange thing.
We actually dropped something, but it'll be easy to grab.
That will be easy to grab.
Grab it with your hand.
I'm not doing that. Damn, there's a lot of...
Where is it?
Davis, no! Don't do that!
Where is that shit?
Don't do that! Don't grab it. It's right down there.
Boys,
but don't grab it.
Boys, be civilized.
Davis, don't grab it with your hand.
Boys, be civilized.
Fuck.
We have tools.
We don't need tools. We got bare hands.
Damn, this gas tank's pretty small. But there's a good amount of dirt in the bottom. Oh, just a little bit.
We need to go to Tristan's angle.
Okay, move.
Okay.
I need to see. That's not what I meant by move.
I got a film, boy. I got a job.
Got a pretty big filter on it.
You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to puncture the bottom of the tank.
It's a good thing that the
That's easy.
it's a good thing that this gas tank was, I think, mostly empty.
Yeah. The gas is like straight up yellow now.
By the way,
Yeah,
definitely buy yourselves one of these. They're like $7.
Just a little grabber.
Yeah, low grabbers are awesome.
So I'm not sure if they said it, but we had to cut this because it probably disconnects somewhere under here, but they're very easily distinguishable and we can just replace them easily. Just
Yep, I did not mention that. I forgot to.
Also, it will make it easier to disconnect your floater. Your floater itself. Here, if you want to give me that. Your floater itself connects right into here. Be very careful with these plastics. Most of the plastics that end up in gas tanks get a little bit brittle over time. So use a flathead in between each one of these. Twist it a little bit and then get a pick underneath that gap and it'll pop right out. That's the best way to take it out, and then you take the floater out first, and then you take the entire unit out.
Now we have new line we can replace this with too. We're gonna have to separate this housing where the fuel pump is, and redo it. And there's only 2 lines going to it, so positive and negative, so we know which ones are the power and ground for the pump, so we can easily replace those. This gray and black wire right here.
It seems like this bad boy, the reason we had to cut it is because like this thing, like it just doesn't come off, and the quick disconnect that it might have or may not have.
I thought you disconnect this end or whatever. It might actually pop up now.
That's where the orange plunger came from.
It's got even metal retainer, so you can't remove it at all.
And so basically from here could not find the whatever quick connect it might have or may not have, and so we just had to cut it like they said.
Yeah, this is a bit different from what I've seen from other
what I've seen too. Yeah, but yeah, so we're gonna dig into that and replace the filter or pump rather.
Probably the filter too.
Yeah, probably we'll end up doing that.
We'll be back. All right, guys, so we have the fuel assembly out here. So this part right here is kind of plastic welded. We gave it some heat with a heat gun. Be very careful, obviously, it's gasoline. We didn't put it very close to it, except in one area that did get a little bit melted plastic, but it's not hot enough to ignite any fuel. So what we did is we got a flathead screwdriver, got a little bit in there, got it kind of in, and then twisted up and down like that. Got another pick in on another side, just to leverage it, and it will come off. It's just a really tight fit plastic unit, and
yeah, look at that shit. It was sealed.
Yeah, once we put it back, we might put some like RTV or black RTV, because that is gas rated, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it should seal it. But there is our unit that we're gonna be replacing. So this should come out. We just need to disconnect this line here, which probably take a bit more heat, and we'll get this removed and just convert the wire harness for it. So this one right here with the new one.
So now we should be able to take that off.
So this is basically what we have here. So the power, same thing as that, and then the return line, which we can even cut this if we wanted to and replace it with some.
Oh, yeah. We're not gonna be able to reuse this hose now.
Oh, it got torched.
It got too hot, so we might as well just cut it.
Yeah, do that.
Let me grab a razor.
We'll disconnect that harness and we'll splice it into here. But yeah, we need it. We'll probably cut this. We have spare Vibrant fuel lines, which are rated for fuel. And we can even replace these ones if we wanted to. They are kind of brittle.
Yeah, and this one was just hanging out in the, just not connected to anything, just in the fuel tank. So I'm guessing that is just the breather for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all things considered, this is easy. You just have to, we've never done this with this specific fuel pump, so it just took us a little bit off camera, but all in all, it's actually pretty easy to get to. Update on the Mustang, oh Jesus.
Hey.
There we go.
There we go.
Update on the Mustang, I replaced the O2 sensors, deleted the rear ones, drove it around, feels a little bit better, so just a little update. And I got a new torque converter for it, so just a little side thing.
Yeah, part number so you can check.
Hey, if anyone knows what the liters per hour on the stock pump is,
probably less. There's like 170 or something like that. I'm not even sure.
Oh, we're gonna probably want this grommet too.
Yeah.
Go to 340.
We need this too. We need this plastic off this. Oh wait, guys. So there's more stuff. There's a new cap too in this.
Oh, look at that.
New cap, and this is kind of a dual.
Nice.
It'll be fine.
So, question is, do we need to replace this thing right here? Yeah.
No. Okay. Unless it's in the kit.
I don't see a small one. Yeah,
we have a new cap.
No.
Or do you want to reuse that one?
Let's use this one.
Doesn't even have a return hole.
The fuck? It doesn't have...
Oh, it's for the bottom.
Oh.
And it's for the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Don't you start with that.
Dude, we started from the bottom and we're still here.
It's still in the garage.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Double. There you go.
You getting text messages?
Yeah.
My God, that heat gun,
we'll figure this
heat gun
out.
is still hot.
Yep, it gets really hot. All right, guys, we're going to fiddle with this, get this in the assembly, and we'll cut back once we have it. We're going to be replacing this line, and then we should be good to go. So we figured this out. So this is the bottom part. We're going to reuse the retainer that it had on here. The kit did come with this, but it doesn't fit in there. It actually hits whatever is at the bottom, so it just doesn't fit like that. So we're going to reuse this, drop that in, and it fits good. And then right here, we're going to reuse the plastic grommet that went on to seal it.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant, yeah. And then I don't think it matters if gas actually gets in here, but we're going to seal it and, use the grommet that came with it.
It doesn't wiggle. It's actually like pushed in there. And
yeah, it doesn't move it at all.
Without that little rubber piece on the bottom, it would just like wiggle and it wasn't secure.
Yep.
And so now we got it.
And then we have new gas rated 3/8 line that will go into the return right here.
This one,
or maybe that's where that one went, and then this goes into that.
this line looks all right because it like,
Yeah.
it's a little cracky, but I don't see any like defects.
I don't see any
and if it's a
reason.
breather, then it's not a big deal.
Yep. So we're gonna get some RTV. I'm gonna double check and make sure it is actually rated for the gas, but I'm pretty sure it is. And seal this back up. We could even heat it up and melt it.
Also, I'm thinking this seal right here that was on the
The lid.
it was on the lid right here on the bottom side. It's pretty cracked, so I might need a new one. It's pretty cooked. You can see that.
So we're gonna go ahead and reassemble this, get everything plugged in where it needs to go, and yeah, we should be good.
Something
to
else that we should do is, since we already clipped those wires, we should actually just make them all quick disconnects, just in case we ever need to pull the pump out again.
I have all the
Good idea.
We got all these electrical connectors and even more with the quick disconnect stuff, and they're all heat shrink and they're rated for gas.
I like quick disconnects.
So yep, we're gonna go ahead and seal this up and get the assembly all put back together. All right, guys, Tristan had to head out. He is picking up some flooring or something. I'm not sure. He had to leave. But we went to the store and got some gas-resistant epoxy because the stuff that we had looked through, it wasn't, or at least I couldn't get a clear answer. We had this new Ultra Black, which we use on everything, but I read online and there's very unknown if it was going to work or not. So just did that. We had clamps to hold it. We're to jerry-rig 2 clamps together because we don't got a second larger clamp, but it actually works. So we're gonna leave this overnight. I don't know why I didn't consider it. I didn't know we were gonna have to do this to unseal it. So resealing it, we're just gonna let it sit overnight and then we can put it back together. But yeah, we have this all together. We have the new harness wired in. We have this crimper connector that I use on my Mustang for pretty much everything. And it's got heat shrink on it, and it has actual, there's some type of material in it. Once it heats up, it like adheres to the plastic. So it's like a really good seal, and it's gas resistant. So we have the new harness on. Now we just need to pretty much reassemble everything. And since we're waiting on this, Tristan can order a new gasket for this if he wants to. We could even get the correct size because this is 3/8 line, and I think we need 5/16 for this. But hose clamp will be fine on it, even if we have to use this. But yeah, some more progress. Like to have done more, but we're literally constrained with having to wait on that to cure, and we're definitely not putting that uncured in gas because
no, it'll be fine.
Uncured in gas will just
think it'll cure faster, or just make it worse. It's one or the other. It's a perfect gamble.
Yeah, it'll clean up any type of imperfections in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna do it. We also had JB Weld. I'm just realizing I don't know if JB Weld is gas resistant, and maybe you guys tell us.
Don't know.
JB Weld actually probably would have been better. Damn. Now that I'm thinking about it, because JB Weld would like be concrete on that shit, but then we'd never be able to take it out again.
Yeah,
so
I think this is better.
This will be better actually, but yeah, that's gonna do it. We're hopefully going to be putting the fuel pump back in soon, doing some more work on Project F and the Explorer and the Infinity and the Mustang. Mustang's getting dynoed and swapping the torque converter and stuff. So we got a lot on the horizon. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment down below.